All right, it's time for a deep dive video. Deep dive pre-premiere trailer. You know, it's about to be a deep dive something. I don't know if it's like gameplay or gameplay deep dive. We're going to watch that together and point out anything that he pointed out. But hope you all having a good day. Hope you all feeling good. It's been a good Cashapp boy is back with another video for you guys. Hope you're all in good health mentally and physically. Premiere will begin shortly. Let's see what they're going to show us. See what's popping, what's not popping. Already pre-ordered the game. I know some people don't idea of pre-order, but to me it's like I'm already freaking gonna get it. It's like I don't really care. I'd rather get the bonuses and I know I'm gonna freaking get the game and try to have like some kind of like I'm just not going to freaking pre-order because I want to stick it to the man. Like I'm gonna get that shit anyways. Who cares? Buying the game. I want my shot at a freaking an upgradable Alex Morgan. Here we go.
Make gameplay better. Those three words summarize our full focus this year. An overhauled gameplay experience that's responsive, rewarding, and powered by your feedback. Here's what's new. First, we separated gameplay into two presets. Competitive gameplay, customized for more responsiveness and player control in online modes. And authentic gameplay, tuned for more realism in offline modes, so that your experience is tailored to where and how you play. Second, we refined the gameplay fundamentals across all modes. Pace, passing, tackling, saves, physicality, everything to address your most requested changes. And third, we added a host of other exciting community-inspired features and updates, from new player roles
More
and
play styles
to a high contrast
roles.
mode. Let's start with the biggest change, and something you've been very vocal about. Splitting gameplay into two separate experiences based on where and how you play. For the first time, online modes like Football Ultimate Team and clubs will have their own tailored gameplay preset called competitive gameplay, while offline modes like manager and player career.
So you don't get to
will default
choose.
authentic.
The way they kind of like built that up originally was that you can choose to like use one or the other in freaking Ultimate Team. If you were confused, like why would people want to use authentic in Ultimate Team if it's like objectively worse for online gameplay than competitive.
Gameplay. Competitive gameplay is fast, dynamic, and attacking football that rewards you for skill, timing, and quick decision-making. It's designed to feel extra responsive, give you more control on the pitch, and deliver a more consistent gameplay experience. Passing feels quicker, dribbling feels more dynamic, the paciest players feel more explosive. We've even chosen the most responsive animations to keep matches feeling fast and smooth. Auto tackles and blocks are less common, encouraging you to take control in defense.
That's a big thing that he just said right there. Auto blocking and auto tackles are less common. One of the big issues that I think exists in S25 is how much hand holding there is in blocking. Not necessarily like auto tackling, but like the auto blocks, because people will block shots that they don't even mean to block. You shouldn't reward people for like not doing something on purpose. You should be rewarded for intentionally getting in there, using a player who has block play style and hitting the button to do a block, because you can do a manual freaking block. I do a lot of manual blocks, but a lot of times you'll have like what should be like a guaranteed goal, then it just gets auto block on accident, or it'll hit a player like ass cheek on the way in on accident and things like that. Like that's happening in real life, but in a video game format, you kind of don't want that kind of stuff happening, because it's like, bro, this should have been a guaranteed goal, but this guy just got an auto block.
Rewarded for great timing with fewer tackles bouncing back to your opponent. Goalkeepers will also parry the ball to safety more often, reducing the number
Also means
of
more
frustrating
corners.
rebound goals that feel out of your control.
Hopefully corners aren't as good.
Of the competitive gameplay experience is built to deliver on those three community priorities.
Because IRL, the reason why keepers are okay with freaking parrying the ball out of bounds is because corners, statistically, are only made once every 10 games. Obviously, there are some teams like Arsenal who make set pieces way more common, but the general statistic is once every 10 games in Premier League games, a corner is scored. So it's a big thing for a keeper to get that ball out of bounds and just give up a corner because you're not really worried about it. Whereas in a video game format like FC, you don't really want to give up corners because if you got tall players, people who are good at using the corner mechanics, they'll be able to get headers or do the bicycle kick goal. So you got to find a balance to where corners don't feel too strong, so that keeper pairing doesn't come off like, okay, I'm still basically giving my opponent a damn near guarantee goal.
responsiveness, consistency, and control.
Marta?
Gameplay, our preset for career, is immersive, realistic football.
You can already see how much slower it is.
How the real-world game looks, feels, and plays. Designed to deliver a simulation gameplay experience, from true physics to our most realistic animations, capturing the same pace and unpredictability that makes football great. Authentic gameplay will still feel responsive, but matches will be less rapid-fire than in FUT, giving that last-minute corner or goal-saving tackle the real-world gravitas that we know our career players love.
Lore accurate Banda.
And in contrast,
defending right there from Freedom Thorns.
Things like AI defending will be tuned differently to reflect how important
wearing our Thorns jersey right now.
Although competitive and authentic are customized for different styles of play, you'll still be able to toggle between both presets in kickoff and career to tailor your gameplay experience. Our second big gameplay innovation for FC26 applies to both competitive and authentic gameplay. A focus on refining what we call the gameplay fundamentals: goalkeeping, agility, tackles and interceptions, passing and dribbling, attacking movement, and physicality. Here's what we've heard over the last year and how we rework those fundamentals to address your feedback. Goalkeepers are inconsistent. Expect keepers to be smarter and more consistent in FC26. We're using machine learning to train them in hundreds of thousands of in-game situations to find the best positioning, including those little micro steps world-class keepers use.
You know what's funny?
The angle.
I had a theory that they've been using machine learning in this game already for squad battles. Like you ever notice that as the season goes on, the year goes on for FC games, squad battles, especially this year, it gets way like harder. And it's not because like EA immediately they have all patches too, and they say they made squad battles like a harder thing, but it's always been that way. Like they've always got progressively harder because the game has machine learning. You'll start playing squads beginning of the year, and it's just like whatever. Then like as the game progressively goes on, you start seeing squad battle opponents do way more meta mechanics like spamming trivelas or you know trying to like play foot rebounds. You start seeing that more and more. I think it's because the machine learning that the game has is basing it off not just IRL stuff, but also what the community is doing a lot is pulling in that data that because EA captures data on every single thing we do in these games. So it's pulling in all that data and having the squad battle AI, basically just mimic what real life players are doing in this game. But in general, when it comes to keepers though, some people would dislike it, like, oh no, keepers are going to be too strong. I actually like the idea of them doing this because one most frustrating thing about the game is you can't trust your keeper. That lack of trust makes people rely on keeper movement when they don't need to. So this change will make it where you don't have to rely on keeper movement, and you can just try to like trust them a little bit more, and their stats will mean more as well, more so than anything else. And again, I'm okay with keepers just being better in general. Does it mean less goals? Sure, but also it increases the skill curve of the game, the skill gap of the game. When you yourself have to learn how to be a better attacker and not try to rely on the keepers being bad to get goals.
Changing directions feels so heavy. Players can now turn quicker and accelerate more explosively in any direction, making everyone feel more agile and responsive. And we've continued to tune the relative pace of players to ensure that the fastest players feel like the quickest ones on the pitch. Tackles and interceptions often bounce back to my opponent. This is a big one we've dedicated hundreds of hours to improving, and now you'll be more likely to win the ball cleanly and retain possession in those moments.
Clean about this for 2 years.
Dribbling feels sluggish. Both of these are more responsive in FC26. Passing and dribbling will feel different between competitive and authentic, but they'll both be more fluid and reactive than last year to ensure that the game feels dynamic and in your control. My teammates need to make better runs. We agree that fluid attacking movement is key to fun and dynamic gameplay, and we've retuned the runs your teammates will make as you progress up the pitch to give you even more options and support. I can't protect the ball when...
I'm less interested in them making good runs and more interested in them being smart when it comes to offsides. And one of the things that I noticed when it came to that Barcola run that they showed right here is Barcola actually he's going forward and hits AI notices that he's offsides and he comes back and then makes the run. So I'm hoping like that becomes like a very common thing. Like see Barcola, he comes back first before he makes his run. And I think he's actually still onside anyways because I think these two play him onside regardless of the fact that he was like up here and came back, they went forward. One of the issues S25 though is a lot of times your players will just run off sides. You just like, bro, come back, and like you can hit right bumper down and come back, but you want them to do it. You want the AI to be smart to do it themselves, to know, hey, you need to come back so I can, you know, play the ball on side and make that run.
Dynamic gameplay. And we've retuned the runs your teammates will make as you progress up the pitch to give you even more options and support. I can't protect the ball when pressed. We've created brand new ways for you to use physicality to shield the ball in FC26.
Yeah, ball shooting was ass in 25.
Button, you can now seal off your opponent.
Like press proven is good, but ball shooting by itself is ass.
You dribble to make a bit of space. Low drivens used to be great. We're bringing back a community favorite mechanic and improving on it. Low drivens can now be triggered on demand by double tapping the shoot button, and this can be applied to all shot types, allowing you to turn your finesse or power shots into low drivens with a second tap. This also replaces timed finishing, meaning that precision shooting will now become the primary skill-based mechanic for scoring goals.
The time finishing you can take out of the game.
Gameplay fundamentals is designed to address the most common feedback.
Interceptions on it like that.
Together set a better foundation for the overall.
He also probably mentioned like how can you remove this or this.
Another widely requested feature we're excited to add this year is high contrast mode. We've made high contrast mode customizable so you can create a visual experience that's best for what you need. You'll be in control of the colors of each team, the keepers, the ball, the referee. And you'll even be able to turn off player or stadium shadows, plus adjust the overall.
That's a good thing, because we all have like that. We all dislike playing against people who use freaking shadow stadiums because it's just annoying. And also, it's a visual eyesore in general. So being able to just turn off the shadows will be good, and it'll allow people to still use like the Bernabeu and things like that that has like shadows if they're using it for like, you know, their Real Madrid fan, things like that. But there are people who don't care about that kind of stuff, don't use because they know it makes people annoyed. So if you turn it off, will just eliminate, you know, that frustration.
Also added simplified skill moves, allowing you to perform a relevant skill with a simple flick of the right stick in a given direction. We're introducing 5 new playstyles in FC26: Precision Header, Aerial Fortress, Game Changer for those flare finishers, Inventive for flare passers, and Enforcer, which dials up those improvements to off-ball shielding. You will also see new player roles in FC26 that epitomize the modern game. Ball-playing keeper, wide back.
Ball-playing keeper, let's go back. He's not explaining these things at all. He just kind of like just jumping between them. A ball-playing keeper, a modern ball-playing keeper who supports build-up play as a passing option and stays on their line when their team is in defense. A build-up focus encouraged the ball-playing keeper to push higher up the pitch and supports play. It kind of sounds like Sweeper Keeper, but a little bit more, I don't want to say defensive, but it just sounds like kind of like Sweeper Keeper on build-up. What that sounds like. You have some right here called Box Crasher. That's made like another new one.
Playing keeper, wide back, invert.
See, this thing they just jump through stuff.
Keeper, wide back.
They just jump through stuff. So wide back, a central defender who opens wide to cover for fullbacks, usually deployed on 3-back formations. So basically just means that if you play like a 3-back, he'll take up the space where Alba is at. You don't even need it for like, you know, this kind of formation. He's playing a 4-2-3-1 wide Nelson narrow, 4-2-3-1 narrow. So this formation you won't really use it, but in 3-back, it basically just means like you're voluntarily telling Rudiger, hey, take up this space where the right back would be, which could leave up a hole right here unless you like playing, unless you have like a CM who you have like drop back, he's a former defender.
Inverted wingback and box crasher.
Like I said, they're going through stuff, they're not explaining anything. Inverted wingback, a modern attacking fullback who gets forward and adopts a central position high up the pitch when their team has the ball. So basically, if you sit on a chart here, you kind of like think about like S24, you had like stay on the edge of the box. It seemed like the kind of player who will basically be staying on the edge of the box, so you can pass in the ball for like, you know, a power shot or a finesse shot, things like that. This is kind of make those cards we had like this year, like that Kelly Smith card has like finesse shot. She'd probably be great for this kind of role because she just run up here, you take that spot, you can pass her the ball for a finesse shot. But on build up though, the inverted wing back will act as a central playmaker, help it dictate the play. It's basically become like a freaking, you know, a CM or a cam.
And box crasher.
Then Box Crasher, defensive midfielder who can get forward to join the attack, making trail runs into the box if the opportunity arises. When asked to be balanced, the Box Crasher will balance the responsibility between defense and attack. It kind of sounds like just DLP, like a little bit. A defensive midfielder who can get forward to join the attack. That sounds kind of like just you're just playing deep line playmaker on build up.
Just like the other player roles, these new roles are opportunities to customize your tactical approach and push beyond a rigid formation.
I will say this though, it sounds like it's like when you play DLP build up, they always make those runs where it's like Box Crasher, like they're gonna wait until they see opportunity or see a hole to attack and then make the run instead of just, automatically making those 4 runs as a defender.
Play is at the heart of what makes an FC game fun. That's why we're so excited about FC 26. The split of competitive and authentic gameplay allows us to customize and improve your experience based on where and how you play. And refined fundamentals across the game deliver on your feedback, making gameplay more responsive, consistent, and rewarding. There's so much more coming to FC 26. Look out for more info in our upcoming deep dives, pitch notes, and on social. And pre-order the FC 26 Ultimate Edition now to get an icon today.
They should give her like an actual dynamic when it comes to her celebration. Like give her like the Millie Rock or freaking hair flip. She has Trinity does like a lot of freaking different celebrations because she's she's part of the TikTok era. Like if you want to give her like an iconic freaking like celebration, get her the Millie Rock or the hair flip. It's like one of the things that she always did during the Olympics because of her pink hair, what she gave her in this game. She would do like a slow walk hair flip like that. Give her that, it'd be freaking a little cold.
Plus a debut icon in FC 26 at launch, an extra
this is just the marketing.
Evo slot up to 6.
The marketing. All right. I don't know. The stuff we saw was pretty good. I wouldn't say like it's like awe-inspiring, but it was just good stuff to see. I liked a lot of the things. I wish they should have what they should have did more so was explain some of the stuff that they added when it comes to like the play styles, like explain how all those play styles are going to work, and also explain how each individual freaking like new role works instead of just like quickly saying like just saying what they are going on, but actually like show in game what this role does instead of just being like, here's inverted wing back, here's Box Crasher, here's freaking goalkeeper on build up, things like that. But for the most part, it's just stuff to like look at and stuff to talk about. I don't think there's anything that I didn't notice, so we don't need to do like a breakdown of any things. We kind of did it during that. It looks interesting though. Like I'm not saying like I'm not hyped for S26, but I'm interested in seeing on what happens with S26, what they do, and how much different the game actual plays, because the gameplay is king. How much better does the gameplay play compared to this SC where gameplay is very inconsistent and bad? I do like that they like some of the stuff that they've announced. I do like they're making keepers better. I'm okay for games that are going to end freaking 3-1 or 2-0 over freaking 7 to freaking 5 if that means keepers gotta be better. Like I said before during this video, keepers being smarter, not stronger but smarter, makes for less frustration for yourself, but also makes for a more consistent video game experience, more competitive experience, more that has good competitive integrity. I think competitive integrity is very, very important thing no one talks about. At the same time, it's going to pull out actual skill versus luck. People score lucky goals because of how dumb the keepers are. So, to actually get goals, you have to just actually create real offense. But yeah, that's it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on the next one. Any thoughts you have in the comment section below. Like the video, comment, subscribe. I'll be AnubisArchangel. If you have a great day, y'all stay safe. And also another out of here. Deuces.